Good afternoon. This is G.M. Kapoor here from INTAC, the Indian National Trust for Art and Cultural Heritage. I've been requested by the Indian Museum to speak on heritage. I'd like to mention first, what is heritage? So, as per our understanding, heritage is our inheritance, our legacy bequeathed to us by our ancestors to be handed over to our coming generations in better condition than what we received it in. Heritage is both tangible and intangible. As the name implies, tangible heritage includes our built heritage as well as material and art heritage, and intangible heritage includes our cultural heritage such as oral traditions, art forms, performing arts, etc. INTAC, the Indian National Trust for Art and Cultural Heritage, was established in 1984 basically for the conservation and preservation of India's vast and rich and diverse unprotected heritage. Protected heritage is looked after by various other government bodies. So INTAC's responsibility was to take up the restoration and conservation of the unprotected heritage. Now the question is, why is it important to protect heritage? Heritage, whether intangible or tangible, is our history. We might debate why it is important to conserve it. Some may argue that the past is dead and the future is where resources and energy should be invested. However, one should not forget that heritage, be it monuments or culture, has widespread impact and influence on and in society. India has remains of civilizations dating back over 5,000 years. These heritage sites are our symbols of our history. We identify with our heritage, which also gives us a sense of pride. Cultural heritage is a mirror of our traditions. It is these traditions and heritage that INTAC has been protecting for over 3 decades. Heritage, of course, gives us a sense of identity. It's not just about saving buildings made of bricks and mortar. It's about saving the layers and layers of information about our ancestors and where we are from. Without heritage, there would be no family history or a culture to identify with. Heritage sites contribute to our culture and economic well-being. The heritage sites help us understand our own ancient culture. Heritage tourism is huge and helps drive the economy of several communities. This also helps people from other parts of the world understand and learn from our culture. Preserving heritage sites thus helps sustain the local economy, creating jobs and even generating capital. The preservation of historic sites is a one-way street. Once it's gone, there's no chance of saving them. This brings to light the importance of locating and preserving a building of historic significance, because once a piece of history is lost, it is lost forever. The discovery in the 1920s of the Mohenjo-daro and Harappa sites from the 3rd millennium BCE brought to light the hidden treasures of the Indus Valley civilization. But the local population was not particularly involved in this exercise and did not show great enthusiasm about having one of the great archaeological wonders of the world nearby. In fact, such was the indifference to the value of this priceless heritage that civil contractors removed bricks for constructing railway quarters in the vicinity and for use as ballast while laying railway tracks nearby. Of course, it speaks volumes for the brick-making technology which our ancestors had. Many people in India have other priorities in their lives such as hunger, health, habitation, education and employment before they can consider looking after their heritage and culture. This is reality and must be accepted. However, even in the section of the population which should be expected to be more concerned with these issues, the percentage of concerned citizens is rather low. Yet the role of an active citizenry is vital for heritage protection. Do we really value our heritage in India? The answer to this is not a simple yes or no. While both the government and public are definitely becoming more aware of the need to conserve heritage, be it built heritage like monuments and buildings, environment, material heritage like arts and artifacts, as well as intangible heritage like culture and traditions, there is a sizable part of the population whose priorities are different, as mentioned earlier. However, they need to be sensitized to the fact that the heritage we speak about belongs to them, and hence they need to protect what is rightfully theirs. Organizations like ours are playing a very important role in not only creating this awareness but also documenting both tangible and intangible heritage. While taking pride in the past is certainly a factor in this awareness, there is also the realization that there is great value in heritage, which can be an engine for economic growth of the nation as a whole. This is primarily why it has become increasingly important to preserve heritage. However, the unprotected built heritage in India is threatened by many factors, including environmental pressures, uncontrolled urban development, communal conflicts, poverty, lack of political will, low levels of funding, inadequate expertise and equipment, and lack of inventories and documentation. Of course, the conflict between development and conservation remains an important factor in this threat, especially since the clear demarcation of conservation areas is lacking. Heritage impact assessments for building activity in prohibited protected zones exist for only centrally protected monuments. There is no concept of cultural impact assessment. The question of whose responsibility it is to look after heritage remains a grey area for many. For many, heritage is somebody else's problem, somebody else's responsibility. They think it is the government's job to look after heritage, and their job is to look after themselves and their immediate future. This is despite the fact that the Constitution had addressed this issue. Of course, heritage is an area where a large number of disciplines are involved, including politics, administration, archaeology, conservation, architecture, environment, planning, anthropology, ethnography, sociology, economy, and law. Most importantly, the common man is involved and has a say. India does have a well-developed legal and judicial system, and court intervention have often been instrumental in righting wrongs brought to light by public interest litigation launched by conservation activists. But the implementation down the line by those empowered to protect heritage leaves a lot to be desired. Multiple government institutions and departments in areas such as education, tourism, information and cultural affairs have inadequate resources, both financial and human, and do not work as a team but pull in different directions, leaving heritage unprotected or poorly protected. I like to mention about our constitution. At the conclusion of making India's constitution, retired Supreme Court of India Justice Hansraj Khanna wrote, "If the Indian Constitution is our heritage bequeathed to us by our founding fathers, no less are we, the people of India, the trustees and custodians of the values which pulsate within its provisions. A constitution is not a parchment of paper, it is a way of life and has to be lived up to. The founding fathers of the country recognized the importance of preserving India's rich and diverse heritage, which is why this aspect was enshrined in the Indian Constitution promulgated on 26 January 1950. Among other duties for Indian citizens, Section 51A lays down the following: to value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture, to protect and improve the natural environment including forests, lakes, rivers and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures. While the founding fathers of the nation had taken into consideration the richness and diversity of our culture, over the years, in spite of a plethora of laws in place, we have not done justice to our duties as citizens because of various factors. It is my request that all of those interested in heritage should carry this message to one and all, that it is our bounden duty, our constitutional duty, to protect our heritage, which is after all something which belongs to us, which we must preserve in good shape and hand it over to our coming generations in better shape than what we received. Thank you.